All right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday. And I love it when a supplier walks in and I see their wine, Heartland, and scratch my head and go, man, I know this wine. I look it up in the computer. We've had it in the store, older vintages. And he starts to tell me the story. Nick Klukenmeister, which means kitchen master. And says, man, me and my partner Ben Gleitzer put this together. Ben Gleitzer, no wonder. I've been to Ben's winery, and well, Ben almost killed me, driving me home after going out after dinner and to a club, and his race car there. And, you know, in the Barossa Valley, and all of Australia, they can just pull you over for test you for drunken driving. You don't even have to be speeding. So Ben must know all of the police in the Barossa because we were speeding and we've been drinking. And anyways, Australia is a fun country, and Ben makes great wines. Everything that he showed me that day is great. We've been a big fan of Amon Ra, and we've had the Gleitzer wines in the store, pretty much everything, and these Heartland wines. And I guess Nick is a good friend, and he bought into this label 2 years ago because, you know, Australia's been going through some problems. This is no mystery. Since 2008, it has been tough to sell a lot of stuff, you know, in the $40 and up price range, and even in the $20 to $40 price range. So this brand, I guess, Ben thought he needed a little help with the marketing and the sales. And when Nick came in, he said, you know, look, if I'm going to do this with you, I want to make it a Langhorne Creek label. Because he just felt, look, the Cabernet Sauvignon from here is unique. It's one of the best areas in Australia for Cab. We really want to highlight that. And there's no real superstar in Langhorne Creek yet, so he wanted to be the first. The first one, we have the Shiraz Cabernet blend. It's a 60-40 split for the Shiraz first and the Cabernet. And like I said, he feels this is the best area for Cabernet. And evidence of that could be they have the oldest Cabernet vines in the world planted here, 139 years old. No phylloxera because of the sandy soils. So most of Australia has never seen phylloxera. You have these wines on their own rootstock. They can live that long. And these wines are incredible values. The first three wines I had on the nose, this wine has got that typical kind of black olive you get from classic Cabernet, the currant, the cassis berry fruit, tobacco spice, a little hint of mint and eucalyptus, so the lovely fruit of the Shiraz and those earthy herbal notes of the Cabernet Sauvignon. And Ben actually uses a technique where he dries some of the fruit here, like they do in Amarone or similar to that. This is a cooler region, so they have wonderful freshness in the wines. You get that lovely underlying spice as well. This is a really full-bodied wine on the tongue with a lot of that herb and earth and spice showing through the finish, but still has a lot of fruit. It's an excellent little wine for $16.50. Wow. And all these wines in screw cap. I love the packaging on them. The label, it's got a silhouette of all the different spices that these guys have come up that are in the wine. Absolutely brilliant. And they got 500 acres in Langhorne Creek, but they also buy from some of the best vineyard sources there. This wine they sees 20% new oak, 12 months of aging, mostly French. This is the Cabernet Sauvignon. So we had Shiraz Cabernet, now we got Cabernet Sauvignon, and then Syrah in the $16.50 price point. And all these wines on the second day, even better. Absolutely mind-blowing, the quality in these wines, and very unique and typical to this Langhorne Creek area. Even more important, and one of the reasons I love a wine is because it speaks about the place where it's from, which these wines all do. The rosemary, thyme, lavender, the black olive tapenade, and really lovely complexity in this wine. Typical cool climate Cabernet Sauvignon, currant cassis berry fruit, good amount of that delicious fruit on the tongue, with an array of that spice showing through the finish, fine tannins, and a firm hand of acidity. Wonderful balance. This was my favorite of the three entry-level wines, the Cabernet. We don't go to Australia for Cabernet. We go there for Shiraz. And the Shiraz, also excellent, though. Lovely blackberry jam in this wine. All these 2012 vintages, which is a really good vintage, apparently, following a horrific year in 2011. This one's got that violet, dark spices, notes of eucalyptus there, also cocoa. Nice complexity, black licorice, but nothing in the wine is out of balance. Everything in perfect proportion. Smooth and silky on the tongue, a good hand of that ripe blackberry fruit, zesty acidity, and a lot of that nuance from the nose showing through the savory finish. All three of these entry-level wines over-deliver, all in screw caps. You know what? He's saying Chateau Margaux has been experimenting with screw caps since the 60s. You know, Penfolds has been putting their top line Grange in it since the 70s. And good point. who do you think's getting the best cork out of these guys in Portugal? It ain't the people in Australia. It's all these guys in Europe that have been buying cork from them for years. Chateau Margaux, you know, all the top-level Burgundy producers. The crap that they can't sell to Europe goes off to Australia. So cheers to these guys for instituting the screw cap for all of their wines. Even these two higher-level wines, the Director's Cut wines, which I say higher level, but they're only $35 a bottle. 36, sorry. Anyways, the nose here on the Cabernet, which he shows the Cabernet first, and your Cabernet has a certain elegance to it. The Shiraz tends to be the star in Australia, and I would have to agree the Shiraz, a little bigger wine, a little more complex, but both of these wines, most excellent in quality. The Cabernet has this intense nose here of the spice and herbs that I was talking about on the label in the black raspberry and currant fruit, that black olive tapenade, and cigar box spice showing that's different than the Shiraz. It doesn't have that. This wine's got wonderful intensity and just a lovely nuance through the finish, lovely savoriness, sweetness, and a big wine, but still maintains its balance, a really long finish. Like I said, most excellent juice at $36. And then the Director's Cut Shiraz 2012. So this is the best vintage they've ever made of this wine, and the Chinese gave this the best award for Australian Shiraz in 2000 for the 2010 vintage, and this got a lot of that blackberry, blueberry fruit, really jammy, pretty floral notes, sweet tobacco, spice, dark cocoa, jammy blackberry fruit shown on the tongue with a host of dark spices, floral highlights, but a firm hand of acidity holding everything together. These wines have lovely balance, especially for wines that are pushing 15% alcohol. Hey, don't hate me because I am alcoholic. I guarantee you these wines will age for 10 years or more. Both of these wines, most excellent juice. That's what we had to drink with our friends from Heartland. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.